Alright, back into the weekly before it is gone forever. Since it's a special one, I really wanted to record another video in it. And I decided to go with trying to get a level 3 win. Now, a lot of people have said that it's not possible to get achievements in this weekly, which is quite clearly not true. I've seen a bunch of screenshots from other people as well who have managed to do it. That being said, I don't think it was realistic for me to be able to get an achievement in this weekly because I already had all the tier 6s except Oyster, and I think I had all the tier 5s as well. And realistically, if you're going to try and get an achievement in this weekly, because you can't really just pile stats onto units, you are probably going to have to go for one of the high tier units that has a very strong ability. Maybe you could get level 3 Nightcrawler, I'm not sure. I think if you go for the level 3 Nightcrawler, you probably haven't bought and sold enough things in that turn in order for its ability to matter. But you never know. I mean, you can face people with very weak teams late on in this, just based purely on the fact that they had a terrible turn late in the game. You know, they didn't find any turkeys, they didn't find any saber-tooths, as I double-checked that last battle for some reason. So the pet I decided to go for was Puma, and you can see here I've frozen it, and we're just saving up a bunch of chocolates as well. This is definitely an obvious strategy, just keeping stuff frozen as long as possible. But I think, am I going to use one of them now? We are only on 5 trophies, so we do have a fair number of turns to go. So I think I am going to use one chocolate here. We have a decent chance of finding another one before it comes time to bring in the Puma on 9 wins. And then I just take the flea. It does feel really strange, like freezing a unit now, knowing that it's probably going to be 5 or 6 turns before I even buy it. As here we face triple Scorpion, and the breadstick removes one of the peanuts. Scorpion I definitely think is one of the worst units to take in this weekly. You're going to get sniped by Foam Sword every time. Dolphins in there as well. And Baguette of course. Although I guess I haven't seen that many teams using Baguette. So we'll definitely take Wolf. It's just a solid pick, because we might end up finding a turkey. But it's also just a good unit on its own. We do get another turkey. And I'm going to sell Gariel to make sure that the stats from the beaver go onto both the units I want to keep. And then White Tiger is very good in this weekly as well. I mean, it's basically, you're paying 3 gold to get 3 chocolates, isn't it? I think that's what it is. And then we end up spending our chocolates that we saved up to be able to instant level 2. So yeah, maybe that's purely because I knew I had a long way to go and I was likely to find more chocolates anyway. But we're also interested in Alpaca, and I freeze Sabertooth for next turn. This is definitely, the more you play this, the more you get into the habit of deciding how much you have to invest on the current turn that you can potentially save for the next turn, which is something that you really don't do all that often in the normal version of the game. So we get another Puma, so we're kind of risking it now, going down to only 3 shop slots. But not sure why I'm thinking about buying the melon onto the tar here. Maybe just to prevent it getting sniped by Foam Sword. Okay, we're going to take the melon on the other Sabertooth, and then we'll just grab the wolf. Basically, I had a set of units that I was just willing to grab no matter what, and we'll just keep buying them as soon as we see them. Because you can definitely get into the habit of thinking that you've got so much gold, as we continue to prove why Scorpion is rubbish in this weekly. But, you can get into the habit of thinking you've got so much gold that you can just keep rolling until you find the things you really want. When in reality, you should be buying things that, are good enough. And then if you do find the really good stuff, then great. But definitely I'm sure there are plenty of players who are just wasting too much gold, not buying good units. Or not necessarily not buying good units, but really greeding for the strongest units possible, when it's pretty likely that you're not going to face someone who has all of those units anyway. So we're going for the same strategy again. We spend another chocolate on the White Tiger. even though 9 wins is just around the corner, so we find an alpaca as well, and then we also get snake. So I think I should take the snake, let the white tiger level 2 it, and then probably freeze the alpaca. Yes, you can also stack white tigers like this, so that wouldn't really help though. It would still only mean that the snake and the wolf get the level ups. And then we find fly. So I'm perfectly happy for the wolf at the front to waste one of the pigs. And then, the fly gives us an extra snipe from the snake, which will be level 2. It kind of feels like, playing the low stats challenge that we used to do a while back, where everyone was trying to get the win with the lowest stats possible. Whale is really the only unit that feels like it has really big stats from the off, and everything else, tends to be below 10. So yeah, we end up winning very easily there. And now we have to hope that we can find enough pumas in one turn. So we'll take this first one, which takes us to level 2 immediately. We take the level up first in case we get another alpaca, and then we could buy the puma. And you can see I've still got a lot of gold left here, and I only need to find 2 more chocolates or pumas, or 1 alpaca and 1 puma. And we get 1 chocolate, so we go for it. And I'm actually, rolling with the white tiger frozen. Probably I should just buy it, and then hope that I can find the puma or chocolate with 3 or 4 rolls left. We get an alpaca, but it's too late for that now since we already have the 2.66 puma. I don't want to freeze the melon here because I'm looking for the chocolate, and then we get it. So there we go, level 3 puma with 6 gold to spare as well, and then we have the white tiger to make the macaque level 2. Not sure why I'm shuffling things around here. Maybe I thought that I had to put the macaque at the front to gain peanut, but we have level 3 puma, so everything is going to get peanut. And trying to make the decision between saber and triceratops, I think it's definitely saber-tooth because it's going to spawn a mammoth. It's going to get hit at least once, but it could get hit more times by a woodpecker. I guess the same thing can be said for triceratops, but as it turns out, saber-tooth was the correct answer because it's going to spawn a mammoth, which is going to remove the melon from this orangutan, an instant kill with the peanut, and we get the win with the level 3 puma. But like I said, I already had all the achievements on tier 6, so other than oyster, of course. If anyone can get a level 3 oyster win this weekly, I'll be very impressed. But this is the run that happened a couple of games prior, so it didn't really take that many attempts to get into position to go for the level 3. And again, we're setting up for puma. Really, I wanted to have puma with foam sword, not peanut, so it just worked out that I didn't find the gharial on the previous game. Because another thing you can do in this pack that, you realize, the more you play it, the more you realize how you can set up for the following turn. Having the toy in place, even though all the pets get removed, the toy does not get removed. So having those toys on board makes a huge difference, especially if it's the snipe toys. So we actually get a double puma in the shop. And I've got 1 chocolate frozen. And I think on turn 13, this team, although it looks very weak for a turn 13 team, in this weekly, it looks pretty strong to me. And we delete 3 units with the Puma plus Foam Sword combo, and it's going to be an easy win. And I think we still have 1 turn on the Foam Sword, so we can actually buy the Pumas now and not need to find another toy pet. And we don't have an alpaca this time. Okay, now we find one. And I don't want to buy the macaque here because I want the chocolate to go to another puma. And it feels very painful rolling past snake, when you know that these are like the vital units you need. But we take the level up, we find the last puma, we can combine them together. I think there's a brief period here where I thought about not going for it. You could go for a 5-of-a-kind puma as well with Foam Sword, but I decided not to go for it here. I think I just decided from the very beginning that I was going to go for the level 3. And also one of the pumas we found was on a level up, so I wouldn't have done that level up if I was going for 5-of-a-kind and keeping them separate. So we take Woodpecker here as the final unit. We delete everything except for this level 3 Sabertooth. But new Sabertooth is absolutely ridiculous. And it spawns, what, 816 mammoths was that? And it ends up being a tie. And of course, in this weekly, a tie is as good as a loss. So we lose our level 3 Puma. At this stage, I'd kind of decided that if I couldn't get another run where I got a level 3, then this would just be, you know, a perfect example. You know, it shows that you can get a level 3, and it's just a case of luck that you're hoping for a weak opponent to get the achievement, which honestly is not that different to any other weekly, except for the fact that, you know, when there's heavy scaling options available, you can basically cheese any achievement you want by just spamming scaling. So, yeah, we buy, sell the oyster, although... Okay, I'm going to buy the melon this turn. We do have 3 hearts, so I was pretty confident I was going to be able to win anyway. But I think at this stage I just gave up on trying to get a level 3 unit. And another team with triple Sabertooth and the Peanut as well to instant kill the macaque. Unfortunately, we couldn't give the macaque the melon because it would have only had... It would have stayed level 1. It was the gingerbread that was making it level 2. Another turkey wolf combo. And we'll take another puma. I think overall I'm very happy that they had this weekly with you know, it's such a change from what you see week to week, where weeklies can just be, you know, ruined by banana pill or husky being in there, and then a lot of options just become completely obsolete. Now, definitely the case against this weekly is that a lot of the teams end up very similar. You know, you've got a lot of turkey, sabertooth, snake. So probably a slightly different selection of pets would have been nice. But honestly, most weeklies have problems with pet selection, even if it's a random weekly or a weekly where someone, you know, designed it. So, yeah, very nice to see things being mixed up a bit. And I'm sure they can come up with more creative ways to use this kind of hard mode toy mechanic to shake things up. Now, I do actually have one other clip from this weekly. I'm recording this part of the voiceover the next day because I forgot to include it in the original edit. So we pick it up on this battle, nothing unusual here. I will take the opportunity to mention that there's a level 3 solo macaque win in this weekly video that you should watch. I'll link that in the description. Pretty funny to see people completing challenges in a scenario where you'd think it would be almost impossible. But we have double dragon frozen, and then we get another dragon in the shop. So pretty much the ideal scenario for the buy-sell. And a lot of people had said, you know, buy-sell isn't that great in this weekly, which probably I tend to agree with. It's not too bad in some of the earlier turns if you get like buffalo and you keep rolling platypus. But platypus doesn't work with dragon. You don't get any stats for the duck and the beaver because it's on buy, not on sell. But here I decided to try and scale the scorpion a bit, and probably I should have just ignored it and looked for one of the other summon units or triceratops, you know, one of the units that could benefit from woodpecker. And then we're just going to do a bunch of buy-sell. So basically, other than me taking the scorpion, you know, it could have been a different unit. This has gone just about as well as it could go. And I think in the end, I am just going to take this chinchilla here, just to really commit to the buy-sell. So our dragons are up to 1820 across the board. We also have the coconut toy already from the previous turn. And we get matched with a level 1 summon team across the board. What do you think's going to happen here? Yeah, unfortunate breakpoint there where the scorpion gets killed by the zombie fly, and we're going to end up losing. So maybe dragon could have been replaced with something else for a bit more variety, but yeah, I thought that was funny to see. So let me know in the comments, did you manage to get an achievement this weekly? Or like me, were you only missing oyster on tier 6?